Okay, it's been mayhem since I launched the spinner blades last week. I just re-upped the blades on the website, but unfortunately I do have to start charging for shipping as well as New Jersey sales tax. I also placed a limit of 4 packs per order just to spread things out a little bit. Now, based on the response and my newfound sense of entrepreneurship, I've decided to continually restock the spinner blade attachments as long as the interest is there. So everyone who purchased a pack or two, thank you. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram, Cooking and Fishing, for future drop announcements, but hopefully everyone who wanted to try the blades will get one this week. And you guys are going to catch a lot of fish on these things. Okay, on to today's video. Now the water is cold and stained from all the rain we had, and cold, dirty water is generally considered one of the toughest conditions to fish in. The fish can't see as far, and their metabolism is low, thus shrinking their strike zone dramatically. These are the kind of conditions where using the blade attachment is a no-brainer. It puts out flash and, more importantly, vibration, which fish can feel with their lateral line. It also slows down your jig slightly during the retrieve, which gives lethargic fish a better shot at stopping your jig instead of just following it in at a distance. And by the way, that is an excellent net job. This very nice guy offered a net this short for me. Let's see that again actually. So a clean stab well in front of the fish, head first into the net, and a quick lift to drop the fish into the bag. This guy nets. Absolutely perfect form. If you're watching, well done. Thank you. In any case, a pretty healthy short would have been a quote legal fish last year. And once again, thank God we got rid of that silly 1-inch slot. Now, one thing to note is that water clarity is relative. This here would be considered pretty clean water in many of the places I fish, but I say it's well below average for this particular spot. And that's how you have to judge your base visibility to the resident fish that are used to a certain vista. So I know this is hard to believe, but here at another spot, this water is considered clean. Regardless, when visibility drops to mere inches, I am almost always trying the blade. Now a lot happens in this clip, so I'll let it run and then we'll get back to the original video. What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
No problem. Jesus Christ. Here you'll see what I'm using in a moment. A chartreuse 6-inch jerk shad paired to the spinner blade. The most visible and loud combo I had available to me. And that was the only fish I caught in 2 hours casting up and down this new spot. Pretty interesting shape to this fish as well. You'll notice it's a large head and body, but a very tiny tail. I don't think I've seen a proportion like this before on a fluke. Nice one, eh? And then this guy comes out of nowhere, just standing there like a zombie. I guess he wants this fish, but yeah, nope, sorry. Okay, so here I'm attaching the spinner blade, and you'll notice I only removed a very short section of tail from my jerk shad. That's because there are no bluefish or blowfish around right now, and the thinner you keep the tail section of your gulp, the better action it'll have in the water. So it's really up to you. A short, stubby piece of gulp with the spinner blade attached will still catch fish, and it's a riskier proposition to pin the screw lock into a thinner section of tail. But for me personally, I almost always choose the best looking presentation when I'm fishing. Now on this fish, pay attention to my rod angle. Fishing off a dock or bulkhead is a lot more like fishing off a boat than it is from a sandy beach. On a beach, you're dealing with wave action, but the landing is almost always a drag up a sandy ramp. Here, the goal is to not let the fish break surface until it's in the net, and therefore you must control the fish laterally until you have your net ready. So right there, you plane the fish in, and now it's a vertical fight. From here, you must prevent the fish from coming to the surface. And to do that, you simply drop your rod tip and pull sideways, but in a smooth motion, giving zero slack and turning the fish in wide arcs. No abrupt 180s. You see there? I made a little circle to turn the fish from heading right to left. Now, just try to keep everything smooth until you slip the net under her head first. As soon as the fish is in, lift. Alright, that was a little bit of a net violation, but you get what I'm saying. So on the rare occasion I do keep a fluke, I make sure I take good care of the fish. Bleed thoroughly, then right on ice. None of this letting it soak on a stringer all day nonsense. My aunt wanted some fresh fish, and I turned this fluke into sandwiches. Stay down. On the drop. On the drop. Alright, so that fish hit on the initial drop. Usually the most challenging bite to detect, especially when it's blowing like it is today. But if you're keyed into your jig, watching your line, and using the appropriate gear, you'll catch these sneaky bites every time. All things we go over in the virtual lesson, by the way. Don't do anything, yeah? Put it right there. Go tend your rod, go tend your rod. Get your bait in, please. You want the, see the little blade?
You have it?
So the guy I was snapping orders to is not a private lesson. That's my cousin Paul, who, when we were kids, called me a fishing Nazi and swore he's never fishing with me again. Well, it took about 20 years, but here we are. Yeah, 21. Take it.
Press the button on there, or do you have a clicker?
It's right there. It's that button, yeah. I lost my blade too. My last blade.
Oh, on the fish?
Yeah. So yeah, this trip was the day after I mailed out all the orders from last week, having to raid my own private stash of blades to complete the task. Now after losing it, I lost all confidence, and my cousin accused me of believing my own marketing hype, and he might have a point there. But in any case, I actually set him up with a single jig. I mean, he's fished maybe twice in the last 20 years. It was a 3/8 ounce jig head, so a little bit heavier so he could feel the bottom a little better. But he had like 4 or 5 shorts, and a couple of them were almost keepers. So who knows? I might turn another cousin into a fluking beast.
I felt it, and then I was like, all right, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
pull right away.
But when you reel down, were you reeling down tight? Because that's probably why. Yeah, that's why you thought you lost it, because you're up here, you get bit, and then you drop slack. Well, who knows? I do detect a little bit of eyes glazing over at the torrent of technical fishing details pouring out of my mouth. So, to be determined. In any case, thanks for watching, and thank you for supporting me through the website. I really do appreciate it. Tight lines, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. You know, so the fish just clears the rail. You don't want to high stick the rod up here, because that's when the rod will.